Welcome back to Christian Academy of Louisville. We're taking a closer look here at the Southwest campus. You know, one of the really cool things about attending Christian Academy, any of the campuses as a matter of fact, is they're going to have the opportunity to take part in a lot of community service, outreach here in the community, and also mission trips. To talk a little bit more about the level of involvement is Principal of Christian Academy Southwest, Anna Carson, 7th grader Bella Crow, and Spanish teacher Lindsay Hawkins. Thank you all for being here today. We're just, getting into the peeling back the layers here of all the different things. And Anna, we talk about missions and outreach and community service, and people may hear that, but to understand, why is it so important and why is it such a part of who you all are and educating the whole student?
Thank you for being here. It's so important because our mission is to develop students' hearts for God. So when you know the love of God, you experience that, you know you need to love others. And that comes naturally through service. So you honor God by honoring others. So we do a variety, starting here with our JA all the way through 8th grade of service projects. There's one every quarter. So we'll do Change the World for Christ or Change the USA for Christ, where students get to dress out a uniform, give a donation, and that goes to a teacher that's actually a missionary now overseas, and to share the gospel. Then we do Operation Christmas Child, which you'll hear about in a second. Yeah. We also do You Can Make a Difference. So after all the holidays, we specify at grade levels food items to bring in, and we restock a local food pantry at a church. And then Water Step, again, is a basic need. Jesus tells us he's the living water. We take for granted clean water. So Water Step allows us to make a donation for clean water to be used as an outreach to repair wells, health education, and provide clean water in places that don't have it.
Right, and these sound like projects too that year after year, isn't it nice to be able to follow kind of the progress and know that these are like tried and true partners that you really trust?
Yes, yeah. It's vested and it's a partnership. And so the Jackson family that are missionaries, they come every once in a while on furlough and share what an impact, and it's amazing what a campus can do, and they don't see it until they hear about it. So little is much when God's in it.
Absolutely. And Bella, you've been very much involved here. I know you're going to talk a little bit more about the Christmas Child Project. You've helped with that. What is that, and why have you loved being a part of it?
So every year we get a shoebox, the school provides it, and then we pack it full of different necessities that a kid might need where there's not as much opportunities for them. So you like toys, school supplies, socks, brushes, toothbrushes, just stuff that they need in everyday life that they might not have an opportunity to get. And then they send it with, there's tons of shoeboxes. People pack them all the time, and they send them to different countries that don't have opportunities like this, and this is their Christmas present. And I love getting to share the gospel with people, even if I don't get to see them.
Well, even just, you're looking at some of the items. These are such simple little items like socks and sunglasses and a toothbrush. And I don't know about you, but I see that and I think, oh my goodness, that could change somebody's life. It really could.
Yeah.
It really could. And you've done this for a couple, how many years have you done this?
I've done this since I've been here, so 6 years now.
That's great. Year after year, and I think that also, that teaches them once they leave these kind, wonderful walls, what wonderful people you're kind of sending out into the world, that they know they have to keep giving back, right? It just doesn't end here. And Lindsay, let's talk maybe some of the bigger projects. We talk about some of the things happening within the classroom. So you kind of head up the mission program to Honduras. Where to begin with that? That must be amazing to take these kids to Honduras.
Yes, so I get to lead the Honduras trip for high school students, so 9th through 12th grade on our Southern Indiana campus. And we haven't been able to go for several years because, of course, COVID and different things. So the students that are going, we actually leave in about 48 hours. And so we're so excited to go for our spring break. And so they've been planning, of course, for a long time. But we work with a mission project down in Honduras in the city of La Paz, and we are building a resource center for kind of a slum village area that don't have the resources, just like she was talking about with kids getting things that they don't have, resources that they don't have naturally. And so we're providing meals for them, we're providing church services, classrooms, education, and all kinds of things. So our team gets to go down and participate and see that grow every time. So it's just fabulous.
So do the kids come back and can you see the difference of Wow, that really, you're helping that person, but I think sometimes for the students, it changes them even more than you'd realize.
Yes, you're right. So a couple of things happen. Usually se habla más español because they learn all kinds of different things. And so they get the opportunity to speak a lot more Spanish, of course. And since I'm the Spanish teacher, I kind of, encourage them to do that a lot. But spiritually on the inside, the Lord really speaks to us through our hearts. And when we're talking about giving to others, it really comes from that place. And so spiritually inside, they just see the world as a bigger place than what they know here. And to see people in a different perspective, they can just share that, and it really does change them.
Learning Spanish and giving back. You're right. I bet the Spanish when they come back is like, whoa, that we just learned a whole year's worth of Spanish. Well, you all, thank you so much for sharing more about what you do here with missions and community outreach.